Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Talk About It. My good girl King B came back to bless us with her presence.
Hey.
We're here to talk about, do you think foreplay is outdated? Is this something that people do on their first day, just one time, or do people even do foreplay anymore? Or people just rush right into it? Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, like I said, welcome back to Let's Talk About It. Our topic today is, do you think foreplay is outdated? I have B here to give the female's perspective. She gave the insight from the girl's perspective. I'm gonna give the insight from the guy's perspective. I might as well let ladies go first. What do you think, B?
I think that it depends on if you're an old soul or if you got old love. I think that for the most part it is outdated because everybody just wants to get right to it. I think that everybody wants instant gratification, so I don't think there's no way to really build lust before you get to making love. So, you know.
So now, do you think is so it's a new age thing, or?
Absolutely, I think. I don't think men in our generations and the ones to come are really familiar with how to please a woman, because it's become such a society focused on what a man wants that, you know, they don't feel the need to work their way for someone. It's like I said, instant gratification. When you can get it so easy, you don't have to work for it. So
you don't believe in niggas is trying to preheat the oven? Niggas don't know about preheating the
sure
oven or starting the motherfucking flame, fireplace up, nothing?
They trying to put the pizza in at 100 degrees. So.
Oh shit, yeah. Put them on from cold ass pizza and this shit not heated up. I can dig. Like, listen, I believe that foreplay is a lot outdated when it comes to people nowadays. To me, it's not, because I'm more of a pleaser when it comes to females. Like, I believe in pleasing the female. I may be a little old school with it because I'm a little older, but
What's a little older?
I'll get my age. I don't mind. I'm 34 years old, so me at my age, I'm an 80s baby. So our thing is, you know, making sure the female's right, feels good. You know what I mean? If it means kissing, if it means kiss on the titties, eating out, whatever the case may be, preheating the oven, you gotta preheat the oven, goddamn. I ain't got to throw my motherfucking pizza in there like, oh, this shit not done yet. Goddamn, I just threw that shit in 10 minutes ago, then never preheat the shit. Nah,
That's such a big factor. It's like you were born mid-80s. When were you born? 83. I was gonna say 84. I was almost there.
Close.
But you know, you think about 90s babies who pretty much grew up their teenage years in the 2000s, the true millennials.
The millennials. Okay.
You want.
I think I'm just speaking English better than you, so let's.
Oh wait! This is my show. Don't disrespect me. My show. Go ahead. So now, let's talk about it. But now, like you were saying, you think it's a cultural, not cultural. Do you think it's a more of a?
Oh, I think it's a cultural thing also. I think that Caribbean and I don't want to say Latin America, but I want to say Caribbean Hispanics and definitely the West Indies. I think that they're very passionate people, so I think that their sex is different opposed to
sex as amazing different. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I should add that on there for you. Go ahead.
Right about that. Yeah. But yes, I do feel like it's just a more passionate culture all around. We share almost the same culture. Mm-hmm. You know, a few differences, but we pretty much, it's a common, I don't want to say belief, but it's very embracing, welcoming, very loving. So I think that Caribbean folks are just very passionate people, and I think that comes with their intimacy. So I think that's why everybody be having babies left and right.
Yeah, we got a lot of babies. Oh, you know, very, very, like, I have like a lot of conversations, obviously, but I had a good conversation with somebody, and they bring up a valid point. They said a lot of foreplay doesn't happen because so many people so focus on pornos. Like, you know, pornos, you go in there, get in there, daddy, please. There's no really foreplay. It's just like, all right, yeah, bend over, go right there. They're so focused on thinking life is like a porno. Like, you know, go in there, go in the room. Hey, she's ready, bent over, she's already super wet, out of nowhere, nobody did nothing. All of a sudden she's wet and everything. Like, nah, like, they treat life like what they see on TV as opposed to...
It's fast. Everything's a rat race, and that applies to including sex. I think that people are so exposed to stuff like porn that they're not exposed to, like, intimate sex scenes in movies where you don't. I mean, there are people who will still get turned on by that when a man is sliding over his strap off her shoulder and you see her silhouette. Things like that are very tastefully sexy, and that's considered foreplay. When you give a kiss on the collarbone, the way you touch a woman before you actually begin to engage in physical activity. You know, I think that people don't realize if they were to take the time to watch things like that or to see it, if they were exposed to it more. But it comes down to patience. People have no patience. Everybody wants everything so quick. What Missy say?
What she say?
Wake me up, show me what you got, 'cause I don't want no one.
No 1 minute man, right?
She want a 1 minute man.
Right.
And that's know a funny thing too. As a male, and I'm speaking from a male's perspective, sometimes, and to help you guys out, you gotta brace yourself. You literally gotta prepare for it. If you go in that shit too anxious like Genuine, more than likely you're gonna be a 1 minute man, or you're gonna ski real quick. You're like, oh, baby, that was just that was my fault. You know what I mean? Your shit tastes so good or feels so good. They make an excuse. You gotta actually brace yourself. Like that foreplay shit might help you out. To be honest, it might be, because at the end of the day, it's this. Sometimes takes a while for a female to get warmed up, or to even feel like shit feels good for her. Like if you just jam that shit in, the first 20 strokes, you might feel good for you, but she ain't even warmed up yet. It might take a 20-25 strokes before she warmed up. By that time, you out here finishing out and shit. You in the ninth inning, like you about to close everything out. The foreplay is what gets on the same page as you. If you start that foreplay, the first 10, 15 minutes, whatever the case may be, now after the first 10 or 15 minutes, now she's on your level. She's as hot as you are. Shit might even be more hotter, you know what I mean? So it will take you less strokes or less energy to get her to come or get her to get to that point because you did the foreplay. Meanwhile, you no longer 1 minute, man. Even if you are, she didn't notice this shit because you done did the foreplay. She done got her shit off, feel good because her shit oven preheated. She ready to go. You know what I mean? So I think foreplay plays a major part, and I learned that like dealing with females and stuff like that like a lot of females just want you to yam skeeted in that shit. Like they want you just.
But you want to make your woman feel appreciated, and not only that, but if you really want her to climax, you have to sensitize her, especially if you're dealing with if you're gonna foreplay and you're gonna focus on her vagina, you need to focus on sensitizing that, and that way, like you said, she will climax either the same time you will or just as fast as you did, and you guys will both be able to please each other in that sense. And that way, you don't have to focus about her being like, why ain't get mine off and he over here, like, you know. And I just think that it just leads to other problems. So.
Yeah, it definitely does. Now with the foreplay aspect, and not to get too personal, in your experiences, and you're 24, so you
25.
consider 25, consider a 90s baby. 92. Do you feel like when you dealt with guys in the past or whatever, have they done a lot of foreplay, or is more like they just like fuck it, like I'm trying to get me and get out, or like with the 90s babies, do you feel like and that I got a rebuttal? I got another question after, but go ahead.
Well, I say so modestly, but I feel like men that I have chosen to deal with and that I allow in my space to exchange energy with, I've always been very well respected in that sense. So I have never had a man that just comes on too strong and they just trying to get right to it, because I think I carry myself a certain way that men understand this ain't that. So my personal experience, no. But I do have a brother who is a hoochie, and I know how it goes, and I know.
You can't call it out.
Yes, you can.
You call him what?
What's
call him thought or whatever?
Nah, he hoochie.
Like, huh?
He hoochie.
Yeah, hoochie, okay.
But you know, I know the ins and outs of both realms. I know what it's like for a man who knows what. It's weird that some women, I feel like some men like will have foreplay with a woman he feels that he respects, and then I think that a woman that he doesn't respect, or he knows she's about it, he's just, let's just do this and let's get it over with.
That's an interesting topic. So that's like throw a crowbar right here. So you think it's a matter of how much they like or respect the female that will make them do the foreplay, as opposed to.
Absolutely, because I think that you want to make it a memorable experience for her. You want her to know, like, I can do this. It's not just I want to get off. When a man when he likes a woman and he respects her, he wants that reciprocated. So in that sense, he's going to do what he can to make her remember him. So that's how I feel.
So you're not gonna just be on some
granted, like if you're dealing with each other and y'all like each other and you guys aren't, you know, in a monogamous committed relationship yet, there may be times he does want a quickie, because that also can, you know, give an adrenaline rush for both parties too. But I think that, you know, because there's sometimes when foreplay is really not necessary, and then there's times where it's, a man really wants to, like, he wants to make a woman feel special. Even sometimes I think even if a man, he may like a female but not want anything with her, but he does like her, and that may be someone he wants to deal with physically, you know, going forward. I think he's gonna do what he has to do to make it memorable for her. And if it's not with foreplay, he's gonna just try and have rough sex, and yeah.
Bring it back down. Now, what you said is honestly true. Now I start thinking about it because I think about previous experiences, like my relationships, and how I went about it. Dealing with somebody that I really liked, I actually took my time and like did the foreplay, did all the kissing, did all the touching. If I had to suck on titties, eat out, whatever case may be, I did all that shit, and then to make her climax or make her get in the same room and impress her at the same time too, because when you do that first impression, you don't want to leave that shit, leave her with a little sour taste in her mouth, because females will go off that first impression.
Yes.
You won't get a second one. So at the end of the day, that foreplay does go a long way. And then I found out with certain females that I didn't give a fuck about. I'm like, fuck it, I'm getting in and out, nigga. Like I ain't trying to press you, so I ain't trying to put in that work or act crazy or do something crazy just to impress you for what?
Right.
It's gonna be wham bam.
Thank you,
ma'am. You're ready. So at the end of the day, you know what I mean? So now the next question is, do you think it exists anymore? Do you think, as being that you said a lot of the 90s babies don't do it and 2000 babies don't do it, do you think it exists anymore, or do you think it's a age thing? Do you think it's like dealing with somebody older, he's more likely to do it?
Yeah, I think you can incorporate music into this, because music from the 50s well into...
50s? What am I saying? What
you listen to me? I'm a music guru, so music from the 50s even into late 90s, where you have smooth R&B, you got Motown, and you have real neo soul and love making music. Those things are all influential, and it makes you feel a certain way. That's why when grown folks hear certain songs come on, they're like, what you know about this? And it's the way they move, it's the way they touch each other and they look at each other. Music now is, what's it? Fuck a nigga, bitch, do this, what? You know, take a nigga shit. To me, it's like, what is that? Of what substance is that? What idea does that put in your head? That's why I think that our generation, well, some of our generation, because some of us have old souls, because we're on that borderline of the music that we've had and the culture that we've had, opposed to now where everybody wants to be a rock star. Everybody wants to just have sex and have fun and be crazy. And I think that you lose sight of what it really means to really please someone else. It's a very selfish, narcissistic society now. So nobody's out here looking to please anybody. So I think they don't know what it is. They don't know how to do it.
I was gonna say, if you don't have that, another thing too, if you don't have that somebody to tell you about it or it pretty much give you an insight on this is supposed to be done or how to do this, etc., etc., you're gonna go about what you see on the TV, or like you said, go by the videos or go by the music.
Right.
If you had that, like that goes about a lot of people not having a father in their life, stuff like that. You don't got a father to tell you how this goes, like, son, you should do this and this and that third, or how the birds and the bees talk, or how you gonna do this. You're gonna go by exactly what you see on the TV or what you and your friends talk about between class or in class and stuff like that. Those are the people you go off of. So a lot of people don't even know about foreplay. They don't even know what's considered foreplay. You know what I mean? Like, people pretty much know the definition of foreplay, to be honest. They think foreplay might be just let me figure this girl. All right, we out. Like, you know what I mean? Or let me kiss on the lips. That's considered foreplay. That's a form of it, but it's, you know what I mean? It's levels to this shit. So at the end of the day, I think it has to do with the generations before you and having somebody to influence you and let you know what it is. You know what I mean?
By example. So if they're not seen in the videos, if you don't have a man to show you how your mother is supposed to be loved, and you know, when your mother's cooking, you see your father come and hug from behind her, those things, they resonate with people when they grow up. So I think that if you don't have that, it's just nothing. And especially if you have a single mother who dates shitty men and you constantly see her hurt, they lack love. That's what it is. So you lack love, you lack passion. If you're gonna get passion, you can't have foreplay.
Okay, now the question I have for you is, if people do foreplay, do you think it's like just a first date thing, just to impress you thing? Like, alright, I'm gonna do the foreplay because, you know, people always remember the first time. Then after that, no more getting out, no more kissing her titties, no more doing the extra shit that got you there, that got them in the building. because they're already in the building. Like, you get
I
their feet in
think
the building.
that any man or woman who will initiate foreplay, that's something that they're about. Because I think that if you're not about it, you're not going to do it to begin with. But I think that eventually, some people, as far as the first date goes, I think that the excitement in a lot of relationships always ends up dying out. That's why so many, the divorce rate is through the roof. It's a little less than 50%. It's at 46% right now. And I think that...
Talk that shit. You got the statistics and everything.
I
I got that
think-
right.
I think that, but like I said, I think that if somebody's about foreplay, they're gonna do it. And I think that if eventually, because sometimes people just jump in, they rush. So when you rush things, you can't really build a solid foundation. Like if you think about building a house, if you're rushing building it, you're bound to miss a few nuts and bolts in the right places that it's needed.
No
so
point intended. Yeah.
you know what? That was a good one.
Yeah.
No, but I think that eventually it might start out that way. That's why a lot of people have passionate sex when they first start dating. It's like you love each other, they the bomb, they this, they that, and then it's like a couple months down the line, you're getting bored. You know, and you get bored because you have so much exposure to bullshit. So you don't do that anymore before sex. It's like you just want to get off before you go to work, like, you know, and that's just what it is. Some men, I hate to hear men say like, oh, she don't even give me head no more, but sometimes men, that's all that they want, and that's not foreplay. You just want your lady to just give you head, and then you go on your day. Like that's some whole shit to me.
She used that word whole a lot. But nah, I think that foreplay, and it does happen too, like in the beginning, and then it does die out eventually because people get comfortable,
Right.
Being complacent and stuff like that. So after a while, and that's same thing with relationships. Like when you get somebody, you fight so hard to get that person. Like, yeah, damn, I want this girl. She bad as hell. Okay, if I had a man, I treat her like a queen.
Right.
Boom, they get the girl.
Always.
First month, boom. Y'all held her hands, skipping and shit, getting cold stone, wilding, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, repeat each other's sentences, finish. Oh my gosh, I knew you were gonna say that. I said that. Oh my god, shit like that. Like, and then as time goes on, you get complacent, you get used to the person. Then you stop doing the little shit. Like, even
Because you
foreplay.
have them. You don't need to
you have-
work anymore. That's it.
They have what they want already, so they feel complacent. Like, listen, I don't need to do it. I already got it. Like, her ass ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? So instead of trying to keep her,
Right.
they complacent like, oh, she ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? So I can say the same thing with foreplay. Like, in the beginning, you might, if you gotta do foreplay, you might do foreplay, and eventually, this is like my 30th time having sex with her. We don't need to do that foreplay no more. She better be ready when I
Right.
get home and this and that, third. Like,
Right.
people lose that little element of the
Start
foreplay
getting
thing, and it's not as
romantic
exciting no more. Even even sex outside or sex randomly, like, oh shit, she went to the bathroom, let's go to the bathroom. Listen, like things of that nature, that's considered foreplay and considered keeps your relationship exciting. You know what I mean?
Right.
When you stop doing things like that and just everything's all right, babe. You know, it's about that time. We start planning out your sex. That's when you know shit crazy. Like, it's 9 o'clock. You said at 9 o'clock we gonna have sex before Morton come on. Like you can't. you start playing that shit out. Shit is kind of weird. Like, and people get complacent. Complacency is like a disease. Like, once you get complacent, no matter what aspect it is, if it's in work, if it's in sex, if it's relationship,
Right. You become stagnant.
become stagnant, and you end up you feeling, and you don't know you're feeling because you're so steady, and you think that's cool, and you think that's you think that's the right thing to do. You know what I mean? Not knowing that there's no moving forward, there's no
It
progress.
becomes routine. So sometimes it's subconscious. You don't even realize. You just wake up. Sometimes you may have sex. You may not have sex. And if you have sex, it's just missionary. You go about your day. You come home. You don't have sex. You eat dinner. You go to sleep. Or you might get lucky one week. One day out the week, and you might have sex that night before bed. But you have to factor in. Sometimes when people become married and they have kids, it's like you almost do have to time it. You don't want your kids hearing you having sex like fucking orangutans, but you want to.
I do monkeying around and shit. No, go ahead.
But it's true. You have to be considerate. You have to be mindful of so many things once it becomes a family. But I mean, as far as when you're single and you're still, I think that should just be. You just gotta run its course until things have to change. I mean, things obviously do change after kids, but before then, I think that's why it's so important to really date and experience each other before having a family, so you can still have foreplay, have exciting sex, and make it happen, Captain.
Okay, Captain Crunch Girl. Listen. So you think foreplay is needed, or is it just is it added?
I think it's needed for good sex. Yes.
For good sex.
Yes.
So, say you and your man together, and in the beginning, like I said, you're having sex, he's giving foreplay, doing whatever you do. Like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. Then 5 weeks down, no more foreplay. He come in.
5 weeks?
5 weeks. So I mean, that's me being nice. Usually,
mean,
you know.
That's still like trial period. I mean, 5 weeks.
Listen,
You stop already?
He stopped the foreplay, but he's coming in there, hard dick and bubble gum. You know what I mean? Got that to give. And he's like, listen, you know what time it is? Take your shit off. He's not even taking your shit off no more. You take your shit off. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Does that turn you off? Does it? Then you not pay attention no more because you just got used to it?
Well, it depends on the woman. Me, I would be very vocal about it. It's just definitely. I mean, 5 weeks. 5 weeks. I would honestly just be like, okay, we need to talk about this. And I feel like if you don't express to him, he's gonna stay where he's at. So I think that I don't know. You have to communicate that, because if not, he's not gonna know, and then he's gonna keep it up, and then you're gonna fall into that trap of just being complacent. And I think 5 weeks is a little crazy to start.
I know guys who they probably wait like 2 or 3 weeks.
That's a month and a half though. That's nuts. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I think that's why people and honestly, bad sex is the reason why a lot of relationships fail, and bad sex could be because lack of foreplay. So
and lack of communication. Because foreplay and communication go hand in hand.
right.
So, both our theories the same. We believe foreplay is slowly fading out, but we also believe that it's very important.
Absolutely.
Agree, right?
I agree.
So for the people out there that not big on foreplay or think foreplay doesn't have a place, your girl probably gonna be leaving you, and she might be leaving for me or for her. So nah, if she's into that, but all jokes aside, listen, foreplay plays a major role. We don't care what age you are. Every female wants it. Some may want more than guys. And some females might want to jump right into it, but not all the time. That she could probably tell you. Like, I don't think one female will jump into it.
Work for your lady.
Facts, you know what I mean? Because if you don't work for it,
She ain't-
better be a nigga with a construction bucket. We had that shit right around his waist working on that shit. So
Oh, Lord.
at the end of the day, man, listen, that plays a big role. And like we said, we answered your question that foreplay definitely dying out, but we definitely gotta make this shit keep going, and that plays a huge role. So with that being said, make sure you tune in next week, and it's also tune in this week at 5 o'clock on YouTube and Facebook, where we'll drop the YouTube video, me and my girl B, and pretty much you'll see the whole video. Let me know if y'all agree with us, you disagree. Do y'all agree foreplay plays a big role? Do you agree guys do it anymore? Do you even care if guys do it anymore? We want to hear y'all insight.
I do want to hear that.
And at 7 o'clock is when we get little answers back. We want you to tell us, do y'all agree with it, or which side are you on? You on the side of foreplay side? You on the side you kind of don't give a fuck about foreplay, you just jump right into it. Where are you at with it? Are you a 90s baby? With 80s baby? You a freaking 2000 baby? Shit, that'd be you be real young in 2000 baby, but yeah. So I want to hear y'all opinion. Me and B signing out. Let's talk about it.
You got something to say? Let's talk about it. Feel some type of way? Let's talk about it. How you living today? Let's talk about it. You wanna talk about it? Let's talk about it. Got something to say? Let's talk about it. Feel some type of way? Let's talk about it. How you living today? Let's talk about it. You wanna talk about it? Let's talk about it. Now that we all here, know I'm all ears. But first, let me say welcome. This podcast, the best look. Topics on point like Westbrook. Feel the heat in the kitchen, let the chef cook. Up conversation for the mind, body, spirit. Truth and lies is for you to decipher.